Hello and welcome. I'm trying to replicate a piece today that I did literally 5 years ago. I did do this for a commission, but when I resined it, it all went pitted. Lots of people have said I can save it. I mean, I can sand it all back and re-varnish it, but I've just come to absolutely love it and I won't part with it now. But do you think this was done 5 years ago with the recipe? I'll tell you in a minute. And I can't seem to get the exact same replica. Now this was using burnt umber brown to swipe. And it got, I mean, it's just beautiful. And I think I might have another go at sanding it and re-resin it, but I'm so worried about completely ruining it because I just love it really so much. And I can get a lot of prints from this, from high definition photos. But anyway, I'm going to try. I have been trying to colour match this kind of green all morning, and do you think I can quite get it? I think it was a special metallic green that I had at the time, but I can't get the exact same colours. So I'm going to do kind of something similar, minimalistic colours, but I'm going to use a burnt umber to swipe. And I'll tell you the recipe I used back in the day when I did this. Okay, I've got this 12 by 12 nice little canvas. I've put the masking tape on the back, and these are not the real giant push bins because this is a smaller canvas. They're the next size up. So I give my push bins a whack in with my little hammer. When it comes to take them out, I just wiggle them out, side to side, wiggle them out. So, but all the products I use are in my Amazon store in the drop-down box, and recipes are all in the description underneath my videos. So I love the push pins because it enables it to stand up off your surface and you can tilt it and do all sorts of lovely things with it. So, rightio, I have mixed some colours. Now, what I used back in the day was Montmartre paints. Tell you what, you've always got to have yourself a nice, this is metallic gold, metallic silver. The nice big tubs, they last me ages. So if you're not a prolific acrylic fluid artist, then probably go for the 1 litre. But having a metallic gold and silver, it enables you to, I put gold and silver into other colours to make them metallic. As you see, this one here was teal, and I put silver in it and it's gone a beautiful metallic. So having the gold and silver, even gold in this cool blue, I haven't put the gold in it yet, but I may do it, is just beautiful. So if you've got metallic gold and silver, you can make pretty much your own metallic colours. So back in the day, my pouring medium, I used to have to order it from the US, was Glue All. Elmer's Glue All, and I diluted it at 70% of the glue and I added 30% warm water. Then I just tipped it into my colours until I got the right consistency. And then back in the day, I always used to add the Australian Floetrol, just a bit of Australian Floetrol to all of my colours. This is just, I've decanted it so it's easier for me to use. Otherwise, I'm working with the big one like this. So this was my recipe back in the day. I have got other recipes now using the Montmartre clear glue and water, which works absolutely wonderful, but that's for another day. So I'm trying to recreate that recipe to see if I can recreate that same effect that I got back then, because I just love it. And like I said, that was over 5 years ago when I first started my channel. So here you go. I know that I used, I'm going to put my glovies on. These are just the food gloves, I think. Right, this is a bleached, oh actually it's called sand. So it's like a off-white. And I know that I would have done my wiggles all over the canvas like this. So I'm going to use mostly this colour because I want to be minimalistic with it. And oh gosh, I'll be doing dancing. I'll tell you if I get the same results. I will dance. Not that you guys will see me. Now I've got this lovely metallic kind of green blue that I made. So I'm going to wiggle this into, oh, this should be nice. I suppose I shouldn't go too much of that because I don't want it to... Oh, another important ingredient. I don't do it so much now, but I added 2 drops of this Australian Helmar silicone. But this is what I used to do 5 years ago. So 2 drops of this, and I've mixed it well. Back in the day, I used to mix my paints always the night before because I used to find that that worked the best for me. So they've all got 2 drops only of silicone. Lots of people hate working with silicone, and I get it because when you come to try and resin a surface, that's probably what I've showed you is what you get. It pits. So it's very difficult to get the silicone off the dried painting. This was a very pale turquoise, but I added more white, trying to keep the colours dullish. Right, here you go. And then in that one, I know that I've got gold. So I've got the metallic gold. I'm keeping this quite thick. I think I used to do this back in the day. You see, I'm trying to think, why can't I recreate those exact same kind of cells that I was doing back then? Because they were just gorgeous. Just add a little bit more of this. I guess that's enough. Enough. Now I'm going to tilt this. Now I've got my nice waterproof or wax craft paper, so I can always scrape the paint back up off it, or I can dip on it and use it for another piece of art. So no paint is wasted. So back in the day, this is exactly how I used to do it when I had a go back at my videos going back 5 or 6 years ago. So give it a nice tilt. I mean, that looks beautiful colours as it is. It's certainly not the same as the one I've just trying to replicate, not the same colours, but similar. So just tilt it all over your edges so you've got nice, nice edges, I guess. Oh, I love those colours, and it is minimalistic to what I would normally do. But I think a trick to it as well back in the day was mixing my paints the night before and leaving them. I don't know, I used to always seem to get better results. So the very edges, you can finger pop the edges. That's lovely. Actually, swipe with, oh, would look nice in that, but I'm going to stick with the plan. Silly Jilly. So I've mixed my burnt umber and I added a bit of black because I wanted it to go real dark. And I've mixed it in exactly the same pouring medium. I haven't changed the pouring medium, so let's try this. I wanted to get a brand new sheet to swipe with. my goodness. I thought I wanted to be prepared, but I wasn't. So these are soft plastic file dividers, and it's got a little lip there. So I'm going to cut that off because obviously I don't want that lip spoiling me. So it's soft plastic file divider. Just let the very tip, 1/2 centimetre, just drop into your swipe colour and just gently, gently. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's coming the same. Holy dooly. Oh. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure that's going to work out similar. Okay, don't do your happy dance yet. Maybe I'll swipe this way now. I'm try my. Keep your swipey tool clean, because otherwise you'll just muddy up your. I'm just putting a little bit more there because it seemed to not have enough. So here we go. Just drop the very tip in, tippy toe in. Oh, if you haven't swiped with brown over these colours, add a little bit of black so it goes a little bit darker, because everything will pop. I'm not going to worry about those edges, but before I even start putting any heat to it, it's popping up all those little jelly clusters that I used to get. Now, I'm going to use my heat wand. Maybe I should try my butane torch, but I'll stick with the heat wand, it's safer. So this is called an embossing tool. It's a heat wand, so it doesn't blow your paint, it just heats it. What it'll do is burst any air bubbles, it will help any cells come through like that, and it will also help the paint absorb into the canvas. Now, back in the day, I think I used to leave it and it just used to start to spread on its own. But I don't know if that was because I had my paint thinner than what I have it today, because the way these cells form is all to do with densities of the paint. I am not technical or scientific at all like that, but I tell you, there's a couple of guys, G Pores, his name is G-E-E Pores, or G. I'll try and link his channel. He explains the scientific way cells, I don't know, very well. And also another artist called the Left Brain Artist. He's very good at explaining all the science in it. Whereas I am just hit and miss. I have no flipping idea how I get results. I do. I just keep your fingers crossed. I don't know whether to just leave this or I just might show you, because as I used to do back in the day was a little balloon. I still do my balloon kisses, but I'm going to do that over those edges so as to get rid of that blank kind of edge there. Just give it a little leaf pattern, I guess, on the edges. But I'm pretty sure that when I used to leave it, the cells used to spread out naturally. But I do think that maybe my paints were thinner. But I am so pleased with those cells. I haven't actually got them like that in a long time. So let's see what a little balloon kiss in there. Oh, look at that. And then, yes, you can certainly put your balloon kisses on the cardstock or another canvas to make another piece of art, or do your own gift cards. But let's do a few. Oh, look at that. Very sweet. I love those colours together. What do you think? Just love them. Really nice. think I might have to go next time is water my paints down further, just make a thinner mix and see if that makes the difference with getting, see these are stretched out and I know I didn't tilt it all back in the day. It just ended up spreading naturally like that. So I think I did thinner mixes, but I love this. I know it's similar, but it's not the same. But those colours look absolutely fantastic with the brown swipe looks fantastic with those colours. So I'm going to bring you down. Wow, look at this, looky. I definitely need to try the thinner mix, and I think that it'll spread and cause that same reaction in the paint. Look, if I don't remember to link G-Pores and Left Brain Artist, remind me, because they're, if you want to know the science of it, and seems especially guys are really interested in that, they're really good at explaining all of that, and they do some online courses as well, I believe. What I just did here was a little finger kiss. What I did is just got my little pinky and literally just pop it in. See, it just gives these little, so you just pop your little pinky where you see a sort of a cluster of cells. I got my little pinky. Oh, I'm touching it everywhere now. I'm silly Jilly. Okay. So your little pinky can make some lovely like little lovely little effects in the paint. So pinky it. I see pinkies certainly come in handy here. Ooh. Okay, I'll leave it to dry and I will be back. I hope you enjoyed that anyway. And please take care. Bye for now. Well, it dried basically exactly the same. The cells didn't stretch at all, so it dried the same. Like I said, it will have an oily residue that you have to clean off if you want to resin it. But I won't be resin. I will clean it off with some soapy cloth, and then just a water cloth, and then dry it and just give it a coat of varnish. So very pretty. I will definitely try it again, but I'm still not a fan like I used to be of working with silicone oils. They do produce some interesting cells. Hope you enjoy. Bye for now.